do a regression here. We're making a model, which would be an equation of this data. And so a curve of best fit. So first we have to enter in the data. If you see a table, you're going to do stat edit. All right, that's the first step. So go ahead, do stat edit. So on your calculator, let's go ahead and quit out of there. Erase all this. All right, and so I'm going to hit the stat button right there, and then I'm going to go edit, and I'll just enter in the data. Okay, so you do stat, edit, and enter in all the data. All right, make sure your columns are the same, and then you're going to look to see what type of regression it is. Is it a linear or a quadratic? So I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to arrow up to plot and hit enter so that it's on, and then I'm going to do zoom 9, and I can see, oh look, that's a curve, right? That would be a quadratic regression. So that tells me when I go to stat calc, I'm going to hit number 5. All right, quadratic regression, and go down. My data is in L1 and L2, and then I'm going to store it in Y1. So I'm going to go alpha trace, enter, and then hit calculate. All right, and there is my data for my model, right? There's A and B and C, so I can write that quadratic equation. That's the model. The model is a quadratic equation. Okay, so I have the A, B, and C there. I'll just write it in here. I can say y equals, and it would be negative 0.074 for A, and then you have to put the x squared to make it quadratic, and then you're going to add 1.74 is B, you put an X, and then you put the C value. Okay, so here's A, this is B, and this is C. And how did I get those? I did stat calc. Number 5, all right, which is a quadratic regression. Okay, and then to get the y, put it in Y1 to store it, you do alpha trace to get Y1 and have it stored there. All right, so now we want to see what, according to the model, what's going to be the stem strength. Okay, well, so it's asking for, this was my Y, right? It's asking for Y, and it says you've got 9 days. So x equals 9, all right? So what I want is to know, it's like f of 9. 9 is going into this equation. So I'm going to do alpha trace, right? Alpha trace to get my y1, and I'm going to put 9 in there. So let me go to my calculator, and I'm going to quit out of there, so second mode, and then I'm going to do alpha trace to get my y1. Okay, that's where my function is stored. All right, that's where it is. And so I want to put in a value of 9 into the function, and I want to know what is going to come out. What would be the stem strength? And so it would be 2.18. Actually, they just go to tens place, so I'll just say 2.2. Okay. And there's no units or anything, just 2.2. Now it says how many days was the stem strength the strongest? So the strongest would be the max, right? It has a negative A value, right? A is negative, so I know it goes like this, and this point up here, my vertex is going to be a max. And I can look at that on my graph. Okay, let me make sure I've got the plot on. The plot is on, so I'm going to do zoom 9, And now I can see there is my curve of best fit. All right, you can see it kind of goes in and out of most of my points. And now I want to know what the max is. So that will be second trace, and then maximum is number 4. All right, and then for the left bound, I'm going to arrow over that, make that spider over to the left. It doesn't matter how far left, just left. And then over to the right of the maximum. Okay, and you can see where the 2 triangles are surrounding where your maximum. The maximum is going to be here, and here's my left bound, and here's my right bound. All right, do I have to guess? No, I'll just hit enter. And now it says that the maximum is my x value is, which is days, right? X value, right? That's days, that's the x value. So the maximum x value is 11.8. Okay, so it would be 11.8 days. That's when it is the strongest. Oh, it says round to the nearest whole number. So that would be, to the nearest whole number, that would be 12 days. Okay, very good. Now try the next one. Stat edit, stat calc.